record on this computer. And here we go. Here we go. Have I got anything written down for this? You know what? I really haven't. So let's just go. Hello, everybody. My name is Ian Taylor, and you're listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. I'm not going to bother with our usual intro this week because, quite frankly, I haven't got it written down in front of me. So I'm just going to say, with me as always is my co-pilot in all things Marvel cards. And this week we were going to do some Q&A, some questions,
Yeah, baby.
and things like that. But I have a question for you.
Oh,
Now that you're out as such, what should I be calling you? Should I be calling you Norrin Rad? Or should I be calling you Sketch Card Hive? Or should I be calling you and introducing you as Fausto Barrio Nuevo?
Barrio Nuevo.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was just watching another video where someone was like, I think it was Rob Neo, and he was like, all right, I got this sample slab from Norrin, aka Sketch, aka Fausto. And now I got three AKAs on me.
It did make
Yeah,
me laugh.
yeah.
Did make me
I
laugh.
didn't I did not think I'd be so public with my official name and stuff like that. But now, years ago now, right? I had Norrin Rad
Well, yeah,
years.
and you've always been Norrin on this podcast. I mean, we've never,
Yeah,
I've never, I think of you and talk to you as Norrin. That's your name to me,
that's
even
what
though
everyone. I mean, and I'm okay with that. Honestly, I've had so many people because I've gotten lucky enough to meet a few of the collectors we're friends with in person, and they're always like, okay, be honest. Do you prefer Fausto or do you prefer Norrin? But I'm okay with either, to be honest with you, at this point. um, I am. I'm really okay with either. I mean, it
Okay,
is what it is.
good. In that case, I will do the intro then. With me, as always, is my co-pilot in all things Marvel cards. He went to New York, and boy, he did it his way. It's Norrin Rad.
And boy, he did. Damn, man. I hope people know these are done on the fly.
I just made that up, by the way.
It's
That was
amazing.
written down.
It's amazing. The reason I don't do the intros is because I get all tongue tied, and see, I messed it up there. And
Well,
Ian always seems
to
to.
be honest with you, I'm probably going to ditch the long intro once we get past episode 150, which is coming, folks. Anyway, simply because it's too much verbosity. Just
It's a
stop
lot.
waffling.
Yeah, it's a
Just
lot.
stop it. And I need to. It's one of my
People know us now.
people know us now. Although, well, there's one thing I was told when I was applying for a job in a West End box office back in the mid 90s before I actually got my first job in a West End box office. Someone said to me, I think it was the box office manager of Les Mis, and he said to me, "How would you, you know?" He said to me, "You've got to remember that it might be your 300th performance or whatever, or evening, but it could be that person's first time seeing the show. Do you
I
see what
love
I
that.
mean? So it's keeping that
Yeah,
thing.
that
So
consistency.
because the jumping in point for someone might not be episode one, it might be episode 70 or it might be episode
Yeah,
125. So I guess there's that. Um,
I love that. That's nice.
so it's
I
a nice
agree.
way to think about it. So you've been to New York Comic Con, and
Yes.
then some. Now, had you ever been to New York Comic Con before?
No,
Ever?
childhood dream of mine to go,
Oh,
and finally went. It was
and
it
you went
was
as a
yeah.
professional.
And I went as an exhibitor, which is
Yes.
insane to think
Oh,
about. Yeah, I did not know up to me getting my pass. I didn't know if I was going to be an exhibitor or just a guest or if it was a day
oh.
pass. I didn't really understand because I've never gone and I didn't really
Hmm.
understand what it was. But CGC was lovely and gave me an exhibitor pass. And I mean, it makes sense. I was helping people at the booth. I was there quite a bit. They did so much more work and were at the booth far longer than I was, those poor souls. And they were working like dogs to ensure people got their signings and all this other stuff and getting their books safely submitted. So that was pretty cool to see the inner workings, exhausting
Mm,
inner workings. It's funny because I got there kind of early Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I
okay.
got there really early to drop off the paintings and to help set up the display because we took down the display every day so
Oh,
that
okay.
because we didn't want theft or anything like that. And
Of
a
course.
collector was doing me a favor by showing me by bringing their stuff. And I felt bad. I didn't want them to you know anyway, for something to happen.
Mm,
So I was there really early and I was walking around and it was completely dead. And everyone's setting up their booths and doing all this stuff. And I kind of just looked around. I was like, yeah, this is a gig, man. This is like a circus. This is a real lay of the land type of thing. People working really hard on this stuff. So that was pretty interesting to get to see behind the scenes, which I always enjoy whenever I do
Mm,
anything like, because I've worked a lot of different like television shows. I've worked a little bit, behind the scenes on some films that were in
yeah, yeah,
Miami, little things like that. And like I remember I even got to see the behind the scenes of the circus, the famous one, the Sun Circus Soleil.
oh, Cirque du
And
Soleil, yeah, yeah. Mm,
yeah, I got to see the behind the scenes of that, and it was so cool to hear everybody talking different languages because it is such like a global kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But it was nice. It was cool to see that, and it was really fun to experience that for sure. I told everybody now, but dude, I was like completely deer in headlights throughout the whole thing. Like I barely remember much of any of it, to be honest with you.
In a good way. I mean,
In a
that's
good way. No, no,
good.
no. And
Yeah.
I'm not complaining at all. I hope I hope I did not say hi to somebody or recognize somebody because I was just running around. But a lot of people came by the booth, man. It was cool. It was really
Cool,
cool. It was
cool.
awesome.
Now
Yeah.
you met. Which artist did you meet? You
Oh,
told me
geez.
before we started recording, but just because one of them is going to be at the top of this episode.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So I'll start with our good buddies, George Vega, who's just the best.
Yeah.
Um, Breed, who is just so cool.
Bobby Breed. Yeah.
Um, he was so nice. So love those two guys. And then I got really lucky and got to meet Peach Momoko,
And she is going to
who
be at the start of this
I'm
episode.
so glad. She's so lovely.
Yeah.
She warmed my heart. I'm I'm 6'4" and Peach is like super small.
Yeah.
So I walked up to her, not realize because I had my face mask on because I didn't want to get my wife sick just in case because she has like I didn't want to get her sick.
Mm.
And I walked over there and Peach kind of looked up at me and kind of like, oh shit, who's this tall coming at me? And my gentle giant self is like big old smile on my face because I'm kind of starstruck. And I'm walking over to her. And I'm just like, hi, Peach. Like, hi, I'm from the Marvel podcast with Ian. And she was like, oh, hi. And it kind of like,
Oh.
it was really sweet. And I'm like this huge guy. She's like this tiny little person. And we were smiling, saying hi to each other. And so I asked her to take a picture if she was okay with it. So we ended up doing that. And then, of course, I saw Geist, Eric Geist, Ian Geist, who
Guessed.
is
Yep.
just
Hmm.
Geist or Geist, who I keep
I
messing
should
that up.
remember.
He
I
told
should
me, he
remember.
said Ghost, Geist, Ghost, Geist. I'm totally messing
Well,
this up now.
he's introed a podcast and he's been on a podcast, so I'll go back and listen to it, and
Keep
I'll
forgetting.
just edit it
And he's one
in.
of my favorites. He's like one of my favorite
Yeah,
Marvel artists, top
Eric,
two, top
if you're
three.
listening, I apologize that we keep muffing up your
We
name.
love you,
We
buddy,
we mucked up Simone Bianchi's name for
for
years, literally,
forever.
before we spoke to him.
Um, yep, for years. And so I met him, who was just so cool, and his work is always just so top notch. So that was fantastic, and I had a really good time with him and talked to him about, you know, the different pieces, and brief kind of conversation, which was awesome. I should have taken a picture, I just wasn't thinking. And then, of course, I got to meet one of my favorite Marvel card artists actually, and Simone Bianchi,
Oh,
which was the best. I didn't get to see Gloria, which breaks my heart, but I did because I didn't do the breakfast that Matt Datillo
yeah, yeah, yeah.
did, and which was really successful, and
Mm.
everyone's pieces were so cool to see. But yeah, I got to see Simone, and like he gave me a big hug, and I was telling him how much I love his work, and he was like, "Oh, Fausto, so good to see you." And like, he knew us, and he was like, "Where's Ian?" And I was like, "Ian's across the pond." And it was just a really cool time. And I've always wanted to like talk to those three
Yeah.
people especially
Wowzers.
because I'm a huge fan of all
Mm,
three of them
mm.
in such a big way. So that was definitely one of the largest highlights, other than meeting the collectors too, because a lot of people stopped by, which was
Yeah.
really exciting too.
Yeah, it just looked awesome. I'm still seeing new pictures and stuff going up.
I haven't seen many pictures actually. You were showing me that
Yeah,
one that I guess Keith took or whatever
yeah.
of our
Keith
buddy Wiggly
Speroni. Let's
Speroni.
I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of people who kept me completely
Please.
plugged in. to what was going on. So Keith Speroni was there,
Amazing.
Webby Vision,
Who is
who
so
can't
him
remember.
and his wife were
I'm
so
not sure
lovely.
what his actual real name is, but he's at Webby Vision on Instagram.
Yeah,
And who else was there?
beautiful
Justin was there.
collection.
Spidey Hits.
Right. Justin was there, his brother and his friend Dustin and Destin, I think it is. I
uh,
mess this up all the
uh,
time.
Dustin's one of his brothers, and then there's
Dustin is
Destin Givens. I think is was he with
Destin,
him?
right, who just
Yeah,
started collecting, who's
yeah.
really hardcore
He's a
into it
nice
now.
dude.
Super. Both of those guys were really
Mm.
nice. Who else?
Who else did I see? Obviously,
Chris,
Matt Fuller
Matt Fuller,
came
yeah,
and
the
manned the
myth,
booth
the
with you
man,
for
the
a little bit of
legend.
time.
Matt Fuller
Um,
was a godsend. Without him, none of that would have been possible. He really helped me out a lot. And we had fun opening 2 boxes, which was really cool.
yeah, I saw you were going to do them. I didn't get a chance to watch any of them, unfortunately.
No, I
Um,
mean, I think there's going to be like a video. I have a recording, so stuff will go up.
oh, great. Okay.
Um, but we did an FFA and we did Fantastic Four Archive and we did a Dangerous Divas.
Oh, nice. Oh, I didn't know you were
Yeah.
doing that. I saw the Fantastic Four archives being pimped, but I didn't see the other one.
No, we did one day and the other day,
Oh, okay.
which was really fun. And then Rick Ortiz was there.
Oh, Rick. Rick's a dude.
Who's a gem. Who's a dude.
Yeah.
Jose Caballero was there who brought the art, which was really cool. Which I'm super grateful he did. I thought that was just a lot of these guys who own this art, they just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you take that out and show it?
I
And
know.
like, who's putting that stuff together so
So
you can
you
see
had,
it?
so just so folk know, you had the original art for some Marvel trading cards
Yes,
there with
sorry.
the actual cards as well, yeah? On display at
Yeah.
the
So
CGC booth.
basically, CGC when the CGC talked to me and stuff like that, I told them that I wanted to do something big for New York Comic Con. So we got Todd McFarlane to sign cards, which is part of that. We also got slabs, so less than 200 slabs. The test slabs for Marvel cards, there were less than 200 of them.
Oh, the
They all say
sample, New York
SA
Comic
on
Con.
them,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sample, and on the
Mm.
back says New York Comic Con. So I tried to get a bunch of people those and gave out some at the show, that little kids that were interested in the work and all
Mm.
that kind of the art, and people
Cool.
who stopped at the booth. And then I also told them, I was like, look, I want to show the original art next to the cards because it's a Comic Con and people, I think a lot of things that have been happening recently with cards is that people are into cards because they like cards, but a lot of Marvel fans really, I think even think people who were into cards and got into Marvel end up becoming art fans, become
Mm.
fans of the artists and the type of
Yeah.
artwork and the medium and the different styles. And I truly believe that. I truly believe like Marvel card collectors are also like art collectors. I've always said that, and I still believe that. So I
Mm.
wanted to show that kind of what that is, what the history
Yeah,
of them
yeah, yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so that really worked out. So those 3 things I wanted to do, we did, and I'm super grateful for them for doing it because it was a lot of work on their part, and I'm just grateful that I don't know, like we got that. I was talking to somebody at the booth because they were someone I just met who were into Marvel cards and had a huge collection, and they were just I don't remember their name off the top of my head, and we were talking, and they were like, "Dude, there are cards nowhere else around here." You go into the store and ask for Marvel cards to give you a weird look.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
at New York Comic Con with Marvel cards.
Mm.
And it was just this kind of amazing moment where it's just like, everyone gets to
It's
enjoy
kind
them
of a
now in some
no-brainer.
way.
It should be
Yeah.
a no-brainer anyway.
It should be a
Um,
no-brainer. It should
mm.
be a no-brainer. Yeah. But it was fun. So
Good.
I'm glad it happened. It was
Good.
cool.
Well,
Yeah.
while because we were supposed to record the because we asked on the group for questions and we got some really good questions actually. We got some great ones from Instagram as well.
Awesome.
And we were going to sit down and record. So people are probably thinking because we said, "Oh, we're going to record this Sunday," and that was 3 weeks ago. So
Yes.
and that Sunday, of course, Ian, not me, slammed into Carolina, not a lady, and and muffed up the plans because you had no power.
Majorly.
So we
I
couldn't
had no
record the
power.
weekend before you went to
Yeah.
Comic Con.
Yep.
And then,
Yep.
of course, last weekend you were at Comic Con.
Yeah. Which I should have
So
just woken up early. I mean, my Wi-Fi in my room wasn't great, but I should have woken up early and just done
oh,
a
that's cool.
podcast with you
No,
in
that's
New
cool.
York.
You have plenty of other stuff going on.
I know.
Hmm.
I should have thought
Anyway,
of that.
anyway, it's not a problem. So we're going to do some of those questions this week. But before I get onto that, I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to show you some stuff. So we're going to do
Please.
some of those questions this week, and then we'll finish those questions next week, which will be episode 149. And I'm going to start pimping it now because, quite frankly, we deserve it because we're worth it, as the L'Oreal adverts say, or whatever it is. Episode 150 is an absolute barnstormer, folks.
Yep.
It is a legendary, legendary guest. And
Legendary
that's
guest.
all I'm going to say. And we recorded it almost a month ago now.
Hasn't it really been that long?
It has been, yeah. It was because 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was a month ago.
That's insane.
It was on 11th September. so I guess you should probably re-listen to it before it goes out because I can't honestly remember. I'm just giddy from the experience of recording it, quite frankly.
It's crazy. I don't even think we've uploaded it to the drive yet. I haven't even gotten a chance to look at it yet.
Oh yeah, I've done the audio, but the video's not up because I didn't want to blow out your Google Drive space.
No, yeah, I got to clean that up.
Yeah, what I might do is send you that. I can't believe I'm talking about this on air, but people can listen.
Sorry.
What I might do is send you a WeTransfer link, and then you can just download it to wherever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, you can just download it to your hard drive without putting it on your Google.
Yeah, I got to free up space from that email.
So I'm hoping that we can put the video for that up as well, because the person we spoke to did give us permission to do so. So
yeah, I think I'm going to do that.
I want to talk about a little bit about Spidey Metal because since we last spoke, it went on ePacks and it's gone from ePacks, and it was absolutely crazy. So
insane.
I don't want to get into all of the Sturm and Drang and ill feeling about the pricing of it because boy, there's opinions about it. All I'll say is people bought it and it sold out. So it's like, what are Upper going to do? They're not going to reduce the price next go around if it's sold out at this price. They'd be mad to do it.
Honestly,
they're a private business and they've got to pay Marvel a share. So, that's it. Benchmark set.
I mean, I think for me, once they put that price, it kind of, for me in my collecting, it definitely put a lot of hard stops on certain things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I definitely made a lot of hard stops.
And we have a question. Right, we have a question that talks
really. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, good.
We have a question, so that's why I wanted to just touch on it and put a pin. There we go in that, and we'll come back to that. But I had an enormous. I tell you what's interesting about Spidey Metal is that for all of the online hoopla about it. The folk that have gotten into it for whatever reason have really enjoyed it, and I kind of like that. And you know what? What I did last weekend because you weren't around, I did a blaster box break with my daughter.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's so nice.
We had 2 blaster boxes.
Did you air it?
This is an empty one. Yeah, it's on my Black Cat at black_cat_collector Instagram feed.
I love Molly Rose.
Yeah.
Molly
so
Rose
we did a box break. So and it was great. They say never work with kids or animals.
They were wrong.
It was a bit nuts at certain points. So that we broke 2 blasters and had a hell of a fun time doing it. I know some people have gotten big hits in blasters, but I think the best we had was a grandiose. Might have been a Spidey grandiose actually.
Oh really?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Which is a pretty popular one. So
people love that card.
She loved it. So she's got loads. She's got loads squirreled away. And then once we've broken the boxes, we took it in turns opening the packs. Once we'd broken the boxes, she then showed everyone her collection. She's got like a little binder. So she went through showing all the cards that she's stolen from my Dukes box over the years.
Oh my god!
And then she's got some Star Wars ones in there, and she's got some random trading card game ones that Donnie sent over in a package and things like that. So yeah, and then where she'd put her Spidey Metal one. So yeah, she's gone in. So she's got the lady characters. So she's got Black Widow, she's got Black Cat, of course. She's gone for Scarlet Witch, Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen. Loves that. So she's got those. And shout out to Donnie Court Rider. who sent me
Oh,
over because he like you used to, he received stuff for me in the States, and then every
yeah, yeah, yeah,
sends
yeah.
over a package. So he sent over because he I had my two blasters sent to him. So he sent over the two blasters, and in that pack there was a loose pack that says for Molly Rose. And so off air before, at breakfast that day, because she'd seen it and she was jonesing to open it, I said, right, after your breakfast, make sure your hands are nice and clean. You can open it. So she opened it and it was a bit tough to open. I thought, my goodness, these packs are a bit tough. She opened it and it was every card that she wanted from the set. Donnie had made a hot pack and
Donnie.
resealed it for her. So she had a
Wow.
Spidey, she had a Spider Woman was in there. There was both the Ghost Spider high and low. Yeah. So she absolutely loved it. Oh, we
Wow.
had we had an absolute hoot, quite frankly. And you know what? That's what I'm really digging about it. Because I've seen
Go Donnie. Wow.
Neff Seawolves on Instagram. I've seen him opening some cool stuff with his kids. They got that Venom Plasmon portrait. Did
So
you see they got that
adorable.
back graded? They
Yes.
got a 10. So that was amazing. But I've seen other people doing box breaks with their kids with those blasters. So yeah,
But it's
it
happening,
doesn't.
right? We
Yeah,
talked about this for
yeah,
years
yeah.
about blasters coming back. And
Mm,
like I feel like people luckily, and I'm so grateful that they found them in the
yeah,
wild or found them, period, and were
yeah,
able to
yeah,
open them with their
yeah.
kids. Like that's what Marvel needs,
That's
man. That's
exactly what
amazing.
it needs. So I had this slight epiphany. So in when I used to work in the West End, we used to be quite involved with pricing the shows, and you're always in a bit of a quandary in the West End because the West End is most of it is completely commercial. Yeah, sometimes you have shows that come in from the subsidized sector and they've got two masters, but most of it is completely commercial. So you've got to judge the realities of actually having to afford everything because they're not cheap shows to run. They've also got to recoup their setup and rehearsal and all that cost to get them up and running. And that can take years for some shows if they're making enough money. So you've got to price the seats in such a way that it enables you to do that, but also it makes the arts accessible, which is a big thing, certainly in the UK.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that if you're going to be selling like the best seats, like 10 rows back in the middle in the stalls for 150 quid, you've got to enable people to go and sit right at the top and still be able to see clearly and be able to get in front of 20. So it's kind of,
Right.
having the two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I kind of equate a little bit of what we've just seen with Spider Metal as that. You got the blaster boxes, which are finally an accessible way to get into the product. Granted, you're
Yeah.
not going to get all of the high numbered stuff, and I get why they did that. And then you've got the stuff for people who can afford it to go in and go ham and go at the top end. Granted, there isn't any way in between. That's why I had such a negative view of people who were buying blasters specifically just to resell, make money,
Yeah,
is
barf.
you're removing the opportunity for someone to access that product. And
100%.
it's the same way with ticket touts in the West End. Anyway, that being said, um, I have. It's a long journey.
Whoa.
There's my cat. There's my cat low page. There's my cat high page. So,
Wow.
and in those at the moment in hand, I have the base, the gold, the grandiose, and the yellow on
That's
both.
a good start.
That's a good start. On EPAC, I have the green that you got with 10 digital base of the low or 10 physical base of the high. And then I have the blue, which is 100 of each. So I've managed to complete those.
Isn't that reversed?
No, the green is the 100, the blue is the 10.
Right.
Yeah. Did I say the opposite way around?
You
I haven't got a clue. I haven't got
I
a
did
clue what I'm
I did
doing.
it correct. For a minute there, I was like, am I too
You did.
tired?
No, you did go cross-eyed a bit.
I was
So I
like,
got that.
what? That's from
And
something
then
else.
I got to give a shout out to Ali from Titan because from her first box
Ah, she's
break,
the best.
she hooked me up with the base, the gold, the grandiose, um,
She's cool
and she
people, man.
also hooked me up with the palladium,
That palladium.
which is possibly one of the nicest cats in the set, actually, because
Without a doubt.
I'm not massively taken with the low series art. And
Yeah,
then
that's a weird one.
well, we saw what it was supposed to be,
I don't want to talk about it. I'm so livid.
and the Daily Bugle, which is
Oh, I forgot she was in there.
yeah, the Daily Bugle. The weird thing about the Daily Bugle because we didn't really talk about that much because we hadn't really seen them in hand. Is the writing on them is kind of
I know.
illegible, just
I know.
month down the sides, and there's a really missed opportunity to have some fun stuff there,
They
even
should
if
have
it's
put
the
some fun
same on
stuff.
every
And they
card.
also should have put a bridge on the bend. That's just folding paper. I'm livid.
Oh, they did. It's
That
erased. It's raised.
I don't know, man. That looks like a rough little thingy.
No, that's raised all the way along and printed
Okay.
over. So it's better than just an open gash.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, so I've got those, and I've got the shadow box on EPAC. I've also got both turquoise, I think, to the 50. No, I've got one turquoise. And I think I've got the pink, which is the 75 on both. But anyway, of 50 is the highest I'm going to go. And
Pink,
to be honest with you,
pink, pink, pink on the black cat's probably really nice.
yeah, probably. And I'd like the 100 one, which is the red PMG, but because it's a PMG, of
That'll be
course, it's more
easy.
expensive.
That'll
But
happen.
yeah. I don't think there's any issue with supply on it. I'm just absolutely skint at the moment. I mean, I'm poor as a poor thing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, wait.
So,
There's no reason to
you know.
rush, dude. Like
Mm.
all that stuff's gonna get super cheap any
Oh, it
day.
is. Oh, it is. One thing I didn't have in hand when we did our review is the Planet Metal, and my goodness me, they're lovely.
They're
So
nice.
I'm going for a set of those.
Those are nice.
Yeah,
Those
I'm
are
going for a
nice.
set of those. I don't have the animated Black Cat yet. I'd like a set of the animated, but I think they're a bit too rich at
The
the moment.
animated's my favorite. I think the animated was the thing that knocked everything out of the
Mm.
park. It's the best thing in that
But I
set, in
think
my opinion.
The Planet Metal, I've got one in hand, the Rhino, and the
Mm,
front is okay, but when you turn it over and look at the back, it's really nice. It's got a nice
hmm.
layout. It's really vibrant. The colors, you know
Yeah,
how
it's
nice
really
and
vibrant.
vibrant the metallurgy were from MM20. It's
Yeah,
on that scale. So yeah,
they're
they're
nice.
nice. They're actually, it's one of the case where the inserts in that are actually better than some a lot of the base.
Well, that was the same thing with Ages, right?
IMO, yes. Oh, very much so. Yeah, ages, decades. Oh,
That was
still
great.
can't get over it. Still can't get
That
over
was
it.
awesome. That was still to date one of the nicer
It is
insert ideas. I really
right.
love that.
I'm going to show you something that I've not seen anyone talking about yet.
Ooh,
Panini Amazing Spider-Man 60th anniversary.
yes.
So these are out. These have been out in Europe. They've just come out in the UK. Now, I'm going to say this now, and I'm hoping people will register this because people always seem to forget it when they're talking about it. It will probably eventually come to the US, but when you buy it in the US, you will not get the cards because
Hmm.
Upper Deck have the license to produce and distribute cards in the US and Canada. So
Yep.
unless you order from Europe, you will only get the stickers. So in this set, much like the Marvel 80th anniversary that we reviewed a couple of years ago when it came out,
Yeah, baby.
you will get there's 164 stickers to collect, and you get 4 stickers in each pack. And you also then get in the European release 1 card in each
That's
pack.
cool.
Okay. Now the cards are, and I'll say it again, exclusive to Europe, and I have a feeling that the 80th anniversary and the Marvel Versus cards also showed up in South American release.
Hmm.
But you're probably thinking, what are those cards, Ian? Well, my friend, I will show you. They are numbered, one for every year that Spidey's been published.
That's a
That's
good
why there's
idea.
60 of them. Yeah. And so each one is a cover. How
Oh.
nice does that look? And I don't know if you're going to see it, but it's like that Marvel 80th one.
Oh, it
It's
did
got
the
that spot
matted
gloss.
thing?
Yeah, it's got that spot gloss. So the Spidey's got gloss. It's not coming out because I've not got a light
Spot
source to
gloss.
reflect
No, I
it, but
see
it's
it.
beautiful.
Wow.
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm just been dying.
Bless you.
So that's Amazing Fantasy 15. So I'm holding up card number one.
Wow.
I will put pictures of these on the tasting notes. That's just lovely. So that's
That's
that.
so
And
cool.
then you go up through the years and some of the covers. Look at that one.
Wow.
So I'm holding up card number 3, which is issue 19 from 1964, which I happen to have over here. I have that
Oh,
issue.
really?
So I'm
That's
going to be
cool.
doing
It's a
some
beautiful
card.
cover.
I'm going to be doing some card versus comic posts. So here's a question for
Oh,
you, my friend. Given that
yep.
these are UK release,
Mm-hmm.
but that they're comic covers, I
Yes.
would love for CGC to grade some of these because that would look really good next to some of the graded books.
Yep.
But because it's not a US release, do you know if that's covered?
It's happening.
It's
Yeah,
happening.
it's
Good,
happening.
good.
By the time you want to, but when you want to do it, tell me. But
Oh yeah, I will.
I'll have to upload the checklist and all that good stuff. But it's
Yeah,
happening for sure.
I'll get you the checklist in Excel format.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that. Anyway, there's some amazing ones. They go up through. We got card 12, which is issue 100,
Wow.
and they're just perfect. They're really nicely done. Spidey Cops Out, card 13 from 1972. Where are we? There we go. Then you got the Punisher. So they've chosen some interesting ones. Got
I
Punisher
love
first
that cover.
appearance. Um,
One of the best first
and
appearance covers of all time.
you've got the second Spidey clone, which is 150.
Wow.
So some of these are amazing.
You already have a full set, you beast.
No, I don't. And this is the thing. Look
Oh.
at that. And it's not just Amazing Spider-Man. There's a Peter Parker Spectacular
Oh.
Spider-Man cover. And that, look at the gloss on that.
I actually love that card.
That's beautiful. I have got a dupe of that. When I say dupe, I need 4 copies to have a spare. Why is that, Ian? I hear you ask. Well, that's because I'm making 3 sets of the cards.
Why 3 sets?
I'm making one for me. I'm making one for a friend.
Mm, got it.
Um, and I'm making one for my side PC, which is comic covers as cards,
Oh yeah, I remember
which
you
I've
telling
now
me that.
started. Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
So there's a wedding issue there.
Oh, I love that wedding issue photo.
It's brilliant. Uh, Hang on. Of course, there's the iconic McFarlane issue 301.
Oh, that's so sick. Wow, they did a
Um,
great job
they've
with
done,
these, didn't they?
yeah, they've done some amazing ones. Look, Spec Spidey 200. So it's not just, which is an awesome cover.
Oh,
That was a shiny
I
one.
have to admit, man, they're
I think
really
that's
doing
Sal
something
Buscema.
special.
That's Buscema
They're really
artwork.
doing
That is.
something special there.
And they're just beautiful cards. They really are. And they go
They're
right
awesome,
up.
dude.
They go right up to date. Um,
Really?
yeah, they go right up to this year.
Holy shit. Okay.
So look, that's a
Ah,
beautiful cover. One Moment in Time. So that's from
one of the
2010.
negative space covers.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Issue 641. That's such a good cover. And then yeah, you're right up to this year's issue 75 of
Wow.
the current run, which is Legacy issue. Oh, I can't read it; it's too small. Anyway, but yeah, loads. So it's not just that, my friend. It's not just the 60 cards, because when you buy the album sealed in its poly bag, you get 5 packs of the stickers with a card in each, and you also get a limited edition card that you can see loose in the poly bag, so you know what you get.
Ooh.
There are 6 of them.
What?
Brace
Oh,
yourself for
yes.
these.
Someone showed me a picture of these baddies.
Look at that. So it's really difficult to explain. These are the kind of
Wow.
web drawings that were done for some of the variant covers. Now there's a red one of
Wow.
those. They're absolutely stunning. There's a red one of those. There is a silver one of those. So same image but silver
Oh,
and a bit bigger. All right. I can't express how good these are in flesh. This one,
so
which I'm
basically, wow. So the cards that Ian's showing me are they basically using the foiling, the spot gloss to highlight the line work
mm,
of these particular characters on the card.
yeah,
So it almost looks like they're glowing.
yeah.
It's
Now it's
really
art.
amazing.
It's art used for the covers, but it's not the covers, which is
Wow.
different to the main run of 60 cards. So there's actually 66 cards if you include the limited editions. And on the back of them, all they say is limited edition card. There's no numbering or anything like that. That one,
Oh,
which is exquisite, which is the Spidey face with that's just done in foil.
wow.
Um,
I love the border on those
yeah,
too.
they're really nice. There's a Carnage.
Oh, that carnage is epic.
And finally, this one, which is just frightening.
Ah,
I've no idea what I've no idea what these are. Clearly variant cover issues, variant cover artworks. Anyway, they're amazing. They're really amazing. They're beautiful cards. So
they
I
look so
strongly recommend.
good.
I strongly recommend. So those are the cards. Um, in the set, you have very similar to the Marvel 80th. You have issues that are you have a lot of stickers that are interior art, but then you have quite a lot of stickers that are comic covers. So if you're into your comic covers, you can fill your boots. And as I am, I've managed so far get all these dupes. Now, because the stickers are slightly smaller and also they're thin, so if they're out in the air for too long, they start to curl. But if you put them in a deck protector sleeve, like
Wow.
this lovely one here from Upper Deck, Spidey on the
I love
back,
that one.
but they're perfect for it. So you got your
That's
Spec
cool.
Spidey, you got your Amazing Spider-Man 300 is a sticker, not a
Wow,
card.
gold
But look at the
border.
gold foiling on that. So
That's
that's a
sick.
sticker. So even if you just go for the stickers, folks, you will get
You're
some
still winning.
iconic covers like Amazing Spider-Man 1. You've got Rhino, Romita
Wow.
Senior. Um, there's a Marvel team up cover. There are some incredible covers. Spidey Unlimited with the Venom and
Wow.
Carnage. You've got. Hang on a minute. I'm looking for one that will blow your absolute socks off because when you see it, you realise how good the artwork is. I mean, it's that.
Look how
You know,
good that
the
looks.
the Spidey anniversary border from what is that? How many years is that? 25th anniversary, where they've got the border images.
Wow.
Um, and you've even got some really random stuff like the photo cover that they did
Oh,
in the 80s, issue 262. It's just a
iconic.
random photo cover. I don't know where that came from.
Ah.
Anyway, there's some really good ones. Now, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 1 is a sticker as well.
Oh, wow.
They're really cool. Um, so yeah, I'm going to town on them because basically, compared to the cost of anything on EPAC that's new. Is cat in it?
I
I hear
mean,
you
they're
ask.
nicer quality on
Hmm.
some of those cards.
Yeah, is cat in it? I hear you ask. Well, yes, she is in. So one of the cards is Marvel Knight Spider-Man 1, which is a Terry Dodson cover, and there she is, just in the background.
Oh, cool.
So that's the thing. I couldn't spot it. I was like, I wonder if she's on anything. Um, I was hoping that Black Cat would be on a card, but she's not. She's on a sticker. So there's a sticker of Amazing Spider-Man 1
Ah,
full cover,
yeah, that's cool.
which is great. And then she's on a two-part puzzle. She's just in there. You can just
Oh,
see
I
her.
see her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a two-part
that's a
puzzle
good one
sticker there.
too.
Now, I've been looking, but I haven't seen your boy. However, Marvel Versus 2022 edition, which is a Panini release, has just come out in Germany and Surfer's in it. Someone posted on group and I tagged you. So
Really?
yeah, Surfer's in that, certainly on a sticker.
Oof.
Um, and it's a new image as well. So that's clearly if that's coming back into the European side of things.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. You clenched then. I could see it.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's what it takes, man.
Um, but yeah. So I thought you'd find that interesting. Anyway,
I
Panini,
do. I find it really
Marvel,
interesting.
Marvel's sorry, Spidey's 60th anniversary set. I'm all over it like a tramp on chips. It's pretty much all I can afford at the moment, I'll tell you.
I think it's awesome,
And the
dude.
album's pretty cool. The album's cool because you've got a little comes with a little kind of you can push out and fold up a little box to put the cards in if you wanted to store your cards in there. I don't
Oh,
choose to.
see, I
And
like
you
that
always get a
stuff
little
though.
insert with stickers in there as well to start you off. So there's a little panel of
Nice.
stickers that you can just like, in there, just peel them off and put them in. And then
I dig it.
it's got a full panel on the back telling you where all of the artwork comes from, which is great.
See,
So
that's
for the
really
stickers at
cool.
least. So yeah,
That's really, really cool.
I'm digging it. So I probably will. I probably will on this one because it's really difficult to store the stickers loose because they curl. So if you put them in a 9-page pocket, they've still got just enough room because they're really thin. They've still got just enough room to curl.
Right?
Um, and it doesn't happen much, but you can see if you leave it flat in the room and then come in the next day, it will have curled slightly. just because it's
Oh,
designed to be stuck.
yeah, that's true.
You know. Um, but so I think I will actually stick them in because I might as well. And then all the cover issues I'll keep as separate within the deck protector sleeves, and that'll sort them out. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that really.
I actually absolutely love that.
Um,
I
um,
absolutely love that. And I just noticed something
tell
very
me,
dangerous,
tell me.
which I'm not happy about.
Oh no, what have you
So
seen?
these guys were released at different parts of Europe
At different
and
times, yeah.
they indicate that on the back.
You mean there's very oh
Yeah.
oh you mean that Black Cat one I've got might have a different earlier in Europe release.
Unfortunately, yeah, I think there's multiples.
Mm.
So I just found one that I have says Italy, and I just found one online that says Brazil.
Okay, and that's all for this week, folks. We're going to go and weep into our
Fudge.
mug of cocoa.
That's
Into our
so
mug of
not
cocoa.
good.
The journey of a character collector. It
So
really is.
now we have to figure out. That's horse. That's garbage.
Yep, yep, yep. It
Oh,
certainly is.
come on.
It certainly is. Welcome, welcome to our world, people. But in other news, my friend,
In other
in other
news,
news, my first graded pog.
you graded Pog? Oh,
I
you
didn't.
dirty dog.
Amanda Z,
Oh, yeah,
aka
that's
Graded Gamer,
right.
hooked me up, and then some. Look at
Wow.
that. 2006 Pog
Lucky.
Marvel Heroes.
So jelly.
Even got the shiny, shiny pack. Look at that.
I have to go get mine graded now. That looks
Oh,
actually
is
really
it
good.
so good? But um,
Super jelly.
I have something on the way that I'm not going to talk about yet until it's actually in hand, which is
Smart.
which is well, simply because it's got to go to Donny yet from the seller, and then it's got to come to
Ha
me.
ha 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 ha.
Um, it's the most unique and possibly one of the earliest items I've seen featuring Black Cat graded.
Whoa.
PSA,
That's
and I'll
impressive.
show you afterwards. But yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
so questions, people. We've been going
Questions.
for God knows how long, and we're only just getting to the questions, but we had to have a catch up. Um, where do I start? Where do I start? I'm going to start with Jake McManus. Jake writes, have I got an unhealthy addiction to Marvel cards? I think about them much of the time. I dream about them and spend a lot of money on them. Would it not be better to trawl free adult sites and spend more time in the bathroom than on eBay? well,
That's the
well, Jake,
best.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm the same. I know you've got a job that doesn't involve cards at all, alongside the job that does. My job doesn't involve cards at all, but I'm always thinking about them these days.
I'm always thinking about him. Even before the job, I was always thinking about him.
Mm.
I think the truth is kind of like that's why we all get along so well. I
It's
mean,
like
it is about cards.
it's like that meme where you've got the couple in bed and she's like looking worriedly over her shoulder and says, "I bet
Yes,
he's thinking
yes.
about
Yeah,
someone
he's
else."
thinking about
And the
somebody else. He's
thought
like,
bubble's coming out of his head. He's like,
yeah, he's like, maybe I'll buy that card on eBay tonight. I don't
mm,
know. I don't want someone to grab it before
mm,
me.
"Yeah,
Well, it's funny. So I got something to show you guys because I actually completed something. I just realized it came 3 days ago. But yes, it is unhealthy. Um, but I will say this: I think the people who do think about this as often as we do end up having the collections we do after years because this kind of leads into a story. I recently got something that officially completed um everything post 2016.
oh boy,
So I have the full Surfer collection now. The one card I was missing that I passed on 5 years ago popped up and I grabbed it.
oh,
So finally it's here and it came in and everything like that. It is the Dynamic Forces Joe Jusko
oh,
Silver Surfer signed out of 5,000.
oh,
So it finally got here. So I have it. It's done now.
oh, wow,
So that's it. So all the 90s, rarest, most difficult surfers from the 90s are done and in hand, which is crazy.
That's remarkable. Hats off to
Yeah.
you, sir.
I
Um,
still can't believe that shit. I passed on that 5 years ago because I didn't like the price because it was too high. And ended up buying it for the same stupid price five
well, it's
years later.
inflation. Everything else has caught up with you.
Yeah, well, it was the same price 5 years ago, so technically I wasn't wrong. It was
Yeah,
overpriced
well, yeah.
back then,
And
but
now it's
yeah.
perfect. Yeah. Um,
So
I'm,
that's it now.
I'm. Hats off to you. I'm still, I'm still researching and finding stuff. Sorry, I've had this cold and my throat is just kind of raw, so I'm sucking on a
Oh,
throat
I'm sorry.
plaster while we're talking, just so that I don't dry out.
You're
Um,
good.
but I've just been focusing on acquiring graded copies of the old stuff now.
Well, you and I
I've got quite a
might
nice stack.
live worlds apart, but guess what your dumbass boy is doing?
Ah,
So I guess I can say this because I'm like 7 cards away, but I am so mad. I'm so mad. Anyway, I'm so mad. It's so stupid. I'm building a complete collection of graded Silver Surfer cards, 9.5 or better,
oh,
standalone. So no verses, no appearances, no art repeats, so no parallels. Just one example of every different Surfer standalone
mm,
art graded a 9.5 or better.
that's impressive.
That's stupid. That's
No, no,
stupid.
hats off to you.
And I'm an idiot. That's what happens. But like, I recently got back cards I graded that I've been switching between for like 8 or 7 years now. Different cards of trying to get better condition and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
selling copies or trading copies or giving away copies to people who need it for their surfer collections. And I got back a bunch of them and I'm very happy with the grades. Got very lucky with the grades. Um, because it's all blind submissions and all that kind of shit. But yeah, I'm actually close. I'm actually really close because I've been picking up the PSA copies. Remember, we've been
Mm,
talking about this for a long time
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
And I was doing a count yesterday and finally got to like make that list. And I'm way closer than I thought it was.
This is
Oh
my
my
stash.
God,
This is my
Ian,
stash.
Ian,
This is my stash
Ian,
now. Um,
that's a lot of slabs. You're scary.
I could just
What did
angle
we
my
do?
camera down.
We
Look,
weren't
look.
doing this stuff. We were just collecting, we were always getting good copies. Oh, fudge you.
But then I have the Todd
Fudge
McFarlane
you.
1989.
See, but
Now
that's the
this is
card. Like that's a
yeah,
card to me. That's a
but
really special
but
black and
this
matte.
is her rookie card. Now
Oh God, why are you
there are
saying those words? You know
because
I
it's
don't like those words.
I know
Why would
because
you say those?
it ties into the next question. You see, I'm bridging. I'm
Gosh,
bridging, dear.
this is good. This is good. This is
Uh,
good.
one thing I will say, I'm also stacking.
Stacking gems. I love it.
Look, look,
You are stacking. Why are
I
you
am stacking
stacking?
because I keep seeing this particular card, and I'm not going to say what it is. Come up really cheap, graded. But the thing is, I'm not aiming. Oh my goodness, CGC. Right, no one's showing me. CGC Marvel superhero stickers is that 1976?
Yep, very
That's a
first surfer
10.
apparently.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
I got really lucky. I've been looking at. I had like 20 or I had like 40 examples of this card over the years because there's 4 variants,
Wow.
and I have all four. But I've been looking for years and years and years, and I was like, I'll just try it out, see if my eye is at all any good. And I got really lucky
Wow.
because
That's
the
amazing.
truth, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this on air because I honestly believe this. I think anything that's a 9 is good. Like if it's a mint 9, it's fine. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing like there everything else before that, everything else above that, I think becomes very subjective. And I think it becomes really luck because like what's the difference between like a subgrade of a 9 and a 9.5? You know what I mean? Like that's really small. And I get it
Mm.
to want the best grades, but that's why I'm not going to obsess. If it's 9 or better,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm not
Like, because I
obsessing at all.
think
I've got
I'm not
eights here,
obsessing about it. I
nines.
know other people lose their minds, but
Yeah.
honestly, I just like knowing, and I think this is where you're at with it, which is why I'm interested in asking. I feel like just because you and I have these collections and we've had these collections for so long, I kind of just want to like make sure they're the highest quality I can get them so
Yeah.
I don't have to ever think about it again. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Like that's where my
Yeah.
head is right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm going for graded stuff is because I want them to display.
I want to see all of those, by the way.
Yeah, I want them to display. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna bore everyone with that. And they range from, I think I've got 1 7 in here. There's a chunk of eights, most are nines with a few tens. Um, but that's fine for me. There's only
Yeah, dude. What
one
else do you
particular.
want?
Yeah, I just want to get a really nice copy of each card graded.
That's it,
And
man.
I'm not interested in sending them in to be graded myself. That's the difference.
Yes. Yeah. I've been buying. I went on eBay and I bought a bunch um that were sitting there that I got
mm,
really good deals on. Um because like I did send in, and that was one of the ones I sent. I sent in ones that I felt really confident about and ones I wanted to have,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nines or betters, because I just don't think I was going to find them in the wild because they're already so stupid hard to find as it is.
Mm,
Um, so I did finally send in cards to get graded, which I hadn't done before, really. Other than the blue PMG I told you about. But like, yeah, I'm really happy with the experience, obviously. Um, but yeah, I like, man, everything. People are selling them low. I'm happy they are. You know what I mean? I'm happy people are like, you know,
yeah.
I mean, when like realistically, were we seeing any graded Marvel cards other than Amanda's site like 3 years ago?
No, I mean I wasn't really looking. Um, the stuff
I
I
don't
was
think it
seeing
was
was.
really out there.
Mm, the
I
stuff I was
mean, I
seeing
was
was mainly Beckett stuff that Stephen Bagley was showing in group, which is great.
yeah, I didn't like that stuff.
But I wasn't really seeing anyone else showing graded cards, even in the Marvel groups.
Not really. Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Oh, there it is.
but the interesting thing, I picked up a card graded the other day, which is on its way to Donny, which was graded an 8, which I'm happy with.
Wow, that's
It's a
awesome.
it's a newer card, but that graded copy was cheaper than the raw copy that's on ComC. I'm like,
Yep.
what's that all about?
You know what? I think so. Like looking at the prices, it costs $18 to do PSA. It costs $15 CGC with no subgrades. With subgrades, like 30 something. BGS is 30 something with subgrades. SGC, oh God, 2018. I don't know the number for SGC. And then you're finding these cards raw are costing 20, $25, maybe 35 in a high grade. And you would buy a raw one at 20 or 15, hoping that the pictures actually do the card justice and there's
Yeah,
not like something
yeah.
damaged. Like it's a no-brainer. I'll pay the extra $5 or $10 every day to get the cleaner, more guaranteed. And you
Mm,
have to look at the card, of course. Any grading company grading cards, it's not always a guarantee. You
yeah.
always have to look at the card, whatever company it is,
But
obviously.
but that's the thing. I just want it because I already own this card.
Right.
So I bought a copy of it graded, PSA 8, excuse me, um, which is on the way to me. But for me to buy that card raw, the cheapest I can see it for at the moment is $120, which is 3 times as much.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. What card
So
is this?
well, I'll show you afterwards.
Show me afterwards. Sorry,
Hmm,
I can't believe I asked
hmm.
that on air. My
That's
bad.
quite all right. That's quite all right. Anyway, so I'm going to go on to our next question.
Yes.
David Snuffer, which is such a good name. Do Marvel characters have rookie cards? And he's used speech quotes.
Hmm.
Would that be something officially recognized or just widely accepted by collectors? Can you name a few? I'm assuming he means rookie cards rather than collectors, because I can name loads of collectors. Um, I'm just going to go out there and say rookie cards is a sports term, and it's a nonsense when you apply it to Marvel cards, because Marvel cards, in my view, the more appropriate term and the more respectful term to use is first appearance, because
Correct.
that aligns with the source material, which is comics.
Agreed.
Spider-Man was never a rookie.
Agreed.
His first appearance in Amazing Fantasy 15 isn't his rookie comic. It's a nonsense. You wouldn't ever describe a comic as a rookie comic. Um,
Yep.
Detective 27 isn't a rookie comic of Batman. Um, so do Marvel characters have rookie cards? Sports people or people who've come in from sports use that terminology a lot of the time to feather the nest of something they're trying to sell.
Yep.
Um, but it's not something that, I mean, I jokingly used it just now to Norrin because I knew what reaction I'd get. Um, but that is Black Cat's first trading card, as I understand it. She's had stickers and things before 1989, but her first
And
trading
people
card
don't
is
realize,
1989.
like, yeah, right, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of foreign cards and a lot of sticker
Mm,
cards, and I collect those as well, which are an F and headache.
and
But I
stamps.
enjoy them. They're beautiful, and I enjoy them. I do enjoy them, and I
Mm.
joke, but they're really tough because there's no official checklist. Sometimes they're impossible to like find in good condition. It's a chore. It's definitely a chore. But here's the thing I would ask, right? To answer that question, this is something I would add, and I hate to answer a question with asking a question, but you know, are you doing it because you are looking at it as a character collector, or are you looking at it as an investment? If you're looking at it as an investment, I think you have to think about the set that would be widely accepted and is the most popular. Like the very first Charizard card is not from the first edition base set. There's actually a Charizard card before that, and it's just not as popular. Um, you know what I mean? So
Here's a
there,
question then. Is
yeah,
that first card regarded as a rookie card?
no, of course not, because it's
That's
Pokemon.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's you have to learn the
I would argue,
terminology that
yeah,
the yeah you have to learn the
I would argue the same
terminology.
thing.
100%, I agree. No, I don't consider a rookie at all. I've said this on
Mm.
multiple venues. It's not. It's first appearance or his first on card appearance. That's what I like. First on card appearance, just because I like the word appearance because it has a lineage to comic books, like Ian was mentioning and said quite beautifully. Um, I agree. I think like for us, like when Ian and I were both character collecting before we met, but we were like comparing resources and doing all this other stuff and trying to telling each other, okay, what do you use, what do you use, how do we find all of these things. And it was interesting for me and important for me at one point to figure out, okay, what's the very first card size piece of cardboard that Surfer was on, because that was like I needed that to start the collection. But
Mm.
what I found over time is that there are stickers, there are vending machine stickers, there's promos, there are foreign cards. If you're looking for the first of your character, look it up. Like take the time to look at it. Go to the Beckett site, go to eBay, go to the Endless site, go everywhere and just take the time to learn. And the thing that we've mentioned this in podcasts before, but the
Mm.
big thing I will mention is that look up the date in which your character made his first or her first appearance or their first appearance in comic books. That will tell you exactly what year to look because Surfer came out in 66 and FF48, I think is right, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And he's not in Don Russ at all, which is the first like card size Marvel
Yeah.
cards to come out. So, you have to see, okay, when was his first issue? And Surfer's like 76 or 78. And funny enough, there's Surfer in Tops 1976 for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. And I know the argument's going to be, well, I've seen Marvel cards use the word rookie, and you're right. In 1990, they do rookie, they do MVP comic books, and they had that sports terminology, but they were wrong. They did that because they were learning how to make cards for Marvel fans for the first time, and they used sports stuff to model it after. If I can be honest, and this again is just my opinion, I think Marvel cards are the best when they come from the mind of people who understand Marvel and comic books. Like my favorite inserts are the ones that harken back and do something special with comic books.
Mm.
Inserts that are modeled after sports inserts, those are not my favorite cards. I don't
Mm.
find those very creatively
Mm.
interesting.
I hear you. I hear you. Let me have a look because my voice is going to go. So I think we're going to wrap up after the next question because I'm not going to be able to carry on.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Because
Yeah.
no. I'm sucking on my fruit pastels and muting a lot. But I wanted to get to this next question because it ties in with what we were talking about earlier. Justin Treese, aka Mr. Sinister Collector. What are
Ah,
the
Sinister.
thoughts on the recent price increase for product? Will it deter you from purchasing future releases on ePack? Um, I'm not sure. I would just isolate that to ePack, to be fair. Um, yeah, for me, I'm having to now draw hard lines because it's
Hmm.
beyond my affordability for a lot of stuff that I'd like to be able to go for, but I can't. Plus the fact it seems to me that every with this set, every man and his dog seems to be a black cat collector all of a sudden. There's about four new ones I've seen.
It's
Or
gonna
people
happen
who've
when
chosen,
Surfer comes
or
back.
people who've chosen to go after on this set just because, just to make his life difficult. But to be honest with you, those people who've gone hard on it, I've clearly got far deeper pockets than me because even if I wanted to, I couldn't have afforded to buy enough product to stand a chance at getting a printing plate achievement. Even in normal times, I wouldn't have been able to afford that. Yeah, and we're not in normal times now. We are in the new normal
The
with
new
that price
normal.
point that Upper Deck have just realised and walked away very happy with. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of if that's going to be the kind of marker going forwards, I'm going to have to be very selective, or I'm going to be going back and filling in gaps on older product for quite a while. And I think that's me. I mean, there is a definite tipping point now where a product like Spider-Man Metal Universe, for all its good and bad points, and there's plenty of both, is hitting a price that Black Diamond was at, which was a near perfect product and a high-end premium product.
That was a really beautiful product.
That is like, okay, so what does that mean for the price point of something like Black Diamond 2? Should that be a thing?
No,
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, I'm with you 100% on this. Yeah, this is it. Like, this is the end of a lot of us collectors who have been here for a long time, and I'm really not sad about that. Actually, I'm actually really happy about that because I feel like people like you and I have gotten to get things that even the collector who's spending 40, 50, 100K on a
Mm,
one of one from Spider-Man Metal or whatever ridiculousness it is, they're never going to be able to obtain certain cards that are in my collection or in your collection because the cards that you and I have obtained over years have been out of love and years of dedication.
mm.
Like, and I know that sounds maybe like a little harsh, but again, I'm not talking to the everyday collector. I'm talking to people who have used this product to get it to another price point in
Mm,
order to
mm.
play at a level that is outside of the hobbyist level and more on the level of like speculation and investment,
Yeah.
which I've never been a part of. I've never been excited about. I've never participated in. Ian knows my collection almost better than anyone. There's no doubles. no, there's no stacking. There's what I like and maybe a couple of Marvel Grail cards that I got stupid cheap that are there for me. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Because they're part of the history of the hobby
yeah.
I've enjoyed being a part of with all my friends. Um, but what's happening to you right now, Ian, where everyone's a black cat collector. I am totally and 100% effed. I know everyone's going to want Surfer, and rightfully so. I'm happy that they're going for it. People are going to own
And why
the
not?
one of ones,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic Four metal when that comes out eventually. People are going to own the plate set. People are going to own greens and all these other crazy cards that are going to come out. And the truth is, that's just life. You know what I mean? Even
Mm,
collectors that we've know who are like even older school than us, who have like Fleer Ultra Spider-Man
hmm.
97 sketches. You know what I mean? Which are
Yeah.
the holy grail to a lot of us.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
guys also and ladies also went through the same thing and being like, well, that's it. I'm no longer interested in this era. And I think a lot of collectors are going to start eventually becoming, well, I collected, you know, pre 2016, and
Yeah.
that's my collection focus. And I
But it
think we're
is.
just
Yeah.
getting to that stage
Mm.
in our hobby lives
It's a
where we're
watershed
eventually going to
moment.
sector off.
It's a watershed moment, is the way I
Oh, I love
Is the
that.
way
That's a
I
good one.
am.
Yeah.
I think about it. I also think about it like this: if you pass away, then you're just not able to collect anything past that point. I know that sounds like a really bleak thing.
Oh, that's
Think
a good
about it
one.
like
No,
that.
I get that.
The
I
hobby
like
will
that.
go on, hopefully,
Yeah.
years to come. Doesn't lessen the collection that you've got, but there's a finite stopping point because you're no longer around to actually do the collecting. Um, so in a way, I kind of approach it in a very pragmatic way. Yeah, I'm looking at these things and I'm going, oh yeah, I wish I could afford that. But then I remind myself that I'm not in love with the art choice from most of the pieces within Spider-Man Metal Universe. So how much am I doing it from like instinctiveness and completiveness,
Right. Or just habit or
completionistness?
habitual.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, Plus, I'm just enjoying, for less than the price of a pack of cards where most of them are digital
Right.
and I'll
Which
never
is
see,
ridiculous.
I'm picking up maybe for the same price as one of those packs, I'm picking up one or maybe even two graded cards.
Agreed.
They might not be graded tens, they might be graded eights or nines, but,
Who cares?
I'm
They're
feasting
your
elsewhere at the
favorite.
moment.
Like
Yeah,
if you love the art,
mm,
like I'm doing the same way. No, no, no. I'm exactly the same
yeah,
way. There are cards that I got graded recently and cards that are being graded currently for me that are my favorite pieces of art. Like I feel very grateful to have. So I bought 20 or 30 for like $1.50 each, by the way, and no one
mm,
wanted these. The Silver Surfer Marvel Onslaught,
oh, yeah, yeah,
the one that Jim Lee did. And I'm just obsessed with that art. I have been since we've known each other, plus the 92 Marvel Universe. Like I have my favorites, which you know. And I've been looking for one in a really great shape to get graded and all this stuff for a long time. And I eventually found one and got one graded.
hmm
And I'm very happy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And like,
Throw me a pic
this
of these,
is,
by the way, for the tasting notes when
yeah,
we
I
get
will.
on this
This is
photograph.
like top three for me, one of my favorite cards.
That's
And
exquisite.
it's a base card. It's a
Mm,
base card that no one was really into. And I'm a huge fan of the art and the artist, of course. And like I rather have this, even if I had this in an 8, I would still be just as
yeah,
happy because
yeah.
it's encapsulated. I feel like I have a good example of that card, right? And it's something that I've always been about this. People have always given me crap about this. Oh, you're selling that Fausto, da 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 da. Because I always want to get excited and collect other cards because I see all my friends doing it, and
Mm.
Surfer's been banned forever. That every once in a while I'm like, all right, let me go for this character and
Yeah,
do
you
this
want to go
fun
out to
thing.
play.
Want to have fun every once
Yeah,
in a while, you know, and
mm,
I don't stick with it because the truth is Surfer's always expensive. He's always
yeah,
been expensive for me. I don't know what it is, but if it's always been expensive. So I
mm,
always eventually have to sell even my little fun
yeah,
outings. But I've always been in the micro with
yeah.
this stuff. And having the hobby go the direction it is, which I don't I'm not happy as a collector, obviously, where the hobby has gone. I think in some ways the hobby's gone in certain directions and I see people loving it. So I don't want to pass judgment because they're so happy and they are collecting
Yeah.
massively and they're excited and it's not for sale. Like I can't tell you how many people I've met now who have spent like over 40K on Spider-Man metal and they're actually legit just happy that they have the product and enjoying it at the house.
I
And I'm just
bring it.
like,
Yeah, if you can
I
afford it,
love
go
that.
for it. Yeah,
Like I think that's like I don't and I'm so happy that they're enjoying it because that's Marvel cards, right?
yeah.
Essentially that's what Marvel cards is. But I think for people who are out there who are having problems with the prices and all this other stuff, like Ian and I have told before, enjoy collecting, enjoy
Mm,
your stuff,
mm,
look at your collection and just realize what you have
yeah,
and be happy with what you have.
yeah.
Because there's a piece in that. And I think there's even more enjoyment to be had when you do that with your collection. I have to do that all the time because like a
Absolutely.
lot of other
Yeah.
people I get priced out too.
We have to refocus. The way I think about it is if you're a
Yeah.
collector, it's like water. Water will always find its way through. It will always find
Yep.
another
Love
path.
that.
So basically, I'm just diverting. It's going to sound awful. I'm diverting my stream, my rather meager limited stream.
We're children.
But I'm going to be 50 next year, so that's why. Anyway, I'm diverting my meager limited stream elsewhere. But I'm really enjoying the stuff that I've got, and exactly like I did last time. It is. I found this very interesting. When I had a really severe dent to my income during COVID, and there was
Mm.
a, I was furloughed and I was on a reduced wage, and I had minimal spending money a month. I mean, I think I had like $150 a month or something crazy like that, spending money to spend on
Wow.
anything, but there was nothing I could spend it because, pubs are closed, shops are closed, all that sort of stuff. So what I did is I set myself a little budget and I just focused on improving my storage and picking up like
Mm.
cheap little things just to keep me going then. So I've started to do that again. So you remember I showed you ages ago that little wine box that I had?
Yes. I'm jealous.
It's perfect
Oh,
for my black diamond and my graded cat, all in their
that
top
looks
loaders
so
and or one
good.
touches. It's perfect. It's a nice big heavy wooden
Oh, I'm
box
so jealous.
that was used to deliver a really nice bottle of wine. And I thought, you know what? I can't afford what I want, which is one of those BCW card bins. Those plastic ones with the hinge lids. You've seen them.
Oh, the $100, yeah, the Pelican cases.
No, no, no. BCW card bin. It's a plastic bin. It's got slots
I believe you. I have
and
to look it up.
channels. Yeah, yeah, different channels. People in the group are raving about it. Marcus Caldwell, who was on the Flair episode that you couldn't make, he
Oh,
was
of course. Yeah, yeah,
he was
that's right.
talking about them as well. And they're fine for top loaders. They're fine for one touch. Yeah, it's great. So I've been wanting to get one of those, but you can't get them in the UK, so they cost an absolute fortune. So I thought, you know what? What
Oh,
have I
that's
got?
right.
I can put stuff in. So I've chosen to do that, which is great. So I'm very happy with that. And
Aesthetically, that's
you
beautiful
know,
too.
and that's what I'll carry on doing. While I've not got much because mortgage rates have just gone through the roof in the UK.
Yep.
Hang on, because our economy's just tanked because the
Yep.
government are useless. Um,
Yeah.
so in about 3 months' time, when our mortgage deal ends, because I think in the US you can tie in for mortgage deals for the lifetime duration of your mortgage. It doesn't work like that in the UK. You've either got 2 years or 5 years, sometimes 7 years. So you can get a fixed rate that's locked in, so you'll be paying the same amount, regardless
Whoa.
of what the interest rates do in the market. Our interest rate expires in February 2023. If we were to switch right now with the best deals that are in the market, I'm paying best part of $400 more a month for the mortgage, and it all comes out my wage. So I'm going to be poor AF come the new
Oh,
year,
God.
unless I can get like a different job. I mean, first world problems and all that. I mean, we'll still have a roof over our heads, we'll still be able to eat, but I will have zero spending money. So my idea about possibly coming to the States in 2023 is unlikely as of this stage, and it's all the fault of Liz Truss and her now ex-chancellor and their
Yeah, I've
crazy
been hearing all about
economic
this
announcement that
insanity.
completely tanked the UK economy in a weekend.
That's insane to me. Emily
It's
was just
bonkers.
telling me about this.
Yeah, they hit. I mean, you couldn't jump on the auto strike button quicker.
Oh, God.
So yeah. Anyway, so there's that. So I'm just focusing on affordable stuff, and these Spider-Man 60th packs, they're a buck each. They're a buck each from the
That's
newsagent
amazing.
down the road.
That's
So
amazing.
it's great. I can get 4 or 5 stickers or
And they're
whatever.
stunning. They're
Yeah,
pretty like I hate to be like this, but they're better quality than a lot of the metal cards. Like I hate to say it out loud, but I'm gonna say it.
the
Like
cards
they're
are.
they're
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
The cards are
yeah.
greatly cut. They have a beautiful foiling effect. They have art that's usually still not featured. It's not repeated art. It's not being featured in Upper Deck. It looks really
Mm,
clean and pretty. Like
yeah.
I'm be honest, man. And
Oh,
they're
it's great.
nice and affordable, like more than affordable and collectible.
Yeah. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, getting the whole set is still going to cost me a little bit because I'm building 3 sets, don't forget.
Well, yeah, but if you were
And
building
I've not
one
even,
set, it wouldn't be.
well, yeah, exactly. If
Yeah.
I was building one set, but I think if I was building one set with the amount that I've bought, I still haven't finished the one set. Do you see
Oh,
what
I
I
see what
mean?
you're saying.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, yeah,
still,
I get you.
so it's going to be a tough one. So, but I can buy a box of packs, like get 36 packs or whatever from the Panini website for $30.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Do you see what
dude.
I mean?
Like, what
So,
the hell?
just
Yeah, I
do
see
that.
what you mean. Yeah.
And then I'll have loads of spares. But anyway, I'm already hooking up one guy who's a Scarlet Spider and Spidey 2099 collector
Oh,
because he reached
clever.
out to me and said, "Oh, I heard this is coming out and you're going into it." So yeah, I'm putting him aside some stuff as well. So, but yeah, why not? But I'll put pictures of all that in the tasting notes for everyone to listen to. And we are going to carry on these questions because there's some really good ones that we haven't got to yet. But I'm hoping
Yep.
that my we've gone on long enough this week, and B, I'm hoping my voice recovers. But we've got some
Mm,
really good ones for next week, which
I'm
will be
excited.
episode. We missed a trick not calling our episodes issues.
We did, didn't we? We'll
Uh,
start that after the
yeah,
150.
next week will be issue 149, and then in the grand spirit of something, this is something I've always aimed to do, is make our 50 ones like the milestone, like giant
Yeah,
size
baby.
anniversary issue,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
Marvel
yeah.
did it in the 90s. So what the fuck,
Let's start naming them issues.
Let's
We can
start
just
naming
change
them
that
issues.
now.
I'm sure we can
Who
probably change
cares?
it now. Yeah,
Why
issue
not?
well, episode 150 will be called issue 150,
Issue 150.
and
Perfect.
we'll see how that tests with the market. Oh dear.
The
Right.
up war.
Hopefully
All
my
right, enjoy it. Be
voice will
careful with
last.
your voice, buddy.
Mm.
All right,
Right.
everyone. Well, thank you again for being with us and hanging out with us, talking about Marvel cards, and I hope everyone enjoys collecting.
Enjoy collecting.
Enjoy.